Hi everyone, today we'll be presenting on our research project on race and patriotism effects on attitudes about immigration.
I'm Grace Cross.
I'm Casey Nutter.
And I'm Hermione Riggs.
So immigration rates around the world are steadily rising and are an important part of the social and political conversation in our present times. So our study aimed to examine how race and patriotism may have an effect on a person's attitudes about immigration. And it's super beneficial to gain further understanding about these viewpoints on immigration to help form legislation and make decisions on the topic. So our study contained 96 participants, all from the Notre Dame of Maryland University and Loyola University campuses, and we used the Attitudes About Immigration scale and Blind and Constructive Patriotism scale to assess participants through anonymous surveys, which took about 15 minutes.
And so for the first graph, we did 2 bivariate correlations for all 96 participants. And this was done to see if there was a significant difference between the attitudes towards immigration scale, also known as ATIS, and blind patriotism and constructive patriotism. So using Cohen's guidelines, there was a positive, moderately weak correlation for the constructive patriotism, and for the blind patriotism, there was a moderately negative correlation with ATIS.
For the second graph, you can see the relationship between ATIS scores and race. I focus mainly on whites, blacks, or African Americans and Asians. As you can see, they all scored relatively high on the scale, between 50 and 60, and blacks and African Americans scored the highest. This table shows that there was a ceiling effect, which means that there wasn't a significant difference between the scores of each racial group.
As a conclusion, as immigration rates are increasing in America with more people in constructive patriotism are needed to welcome immigrants, and race did not significantly impact ATIS scores.
For future directions, we would like to broaden our population to beyond a college campus, since college students tend to be more liberal. We would also like to include a bigger sample size for each of the race, since some of the groups only had around 2 to 3 participants. We would like to thank the IRB and Dr. Cohen for allowing us to do this research study, and thank you for listening to our presentation.